All right, welcome back to business. Now, this is becoming a bit boring, but this is the reality. I'm talking about the retail feud between Ghanaian retailers and their foreign counterparts. Personally, I have lost track of the number of times that the leadership of the Ghana Union of Traders Association GUTA closed down shops belonging to foreigners, even though the union has actually disassociated itself from the recent closure. But whoever is responsible for this time is responsible actually this time. The retail feud is becoming repetitive with no end in sight. And the question that is begging for answers is who actually can quench this noise, and why are they not acting? Apiakusi Adumako is the regional coordinator of CATS, a non-profit research and advocacy public policy think tank, and he's here for some explanations. Thanks so much for your time. I mean, this is becoming like some merry-go-round. We've had this over the time, over and over again. At a point, we saw that some executive members of GUTA were picked up by the police. They were not charged. They were released later on. They got back to the market to close down shops, and we are here again talking about the same issue. I mean, this is becoming boring, and the question is who is not working and why they're not working?
I think I would say that this is not only with regards to the GUTA issue. We live in a country whereby we don't seem to solve problems once and for all. Everything has become like firefighting, and so you hear the Ministry of Trade, GIPC, or government coming in only when there is agitation from GUTA. That is kind of a short-term approach. But instead of looking at the whole legal framework and ensuring that whatever GUTA is doing is in line with the laws of the country. Of course, we have Nigerians who are here doing businesses. They are doing legitimate business, and they are paying their taxes.
But this is the retail market where they said the Ghanaian laws are clear as to who can actually do business in the retail market. So it's that, yes, now we know that government has failed to ensure that the laws work. And so, yes, you also say that these people who are agitating have legitimate reasons to actually protest.
Yeah, that is true. The laws of the nation says that the retail market, some is reserved for Ghanaians. But I mean, the law is what it is, not what it ought to be. However, we also have the ECOWAS laws that also permit people, foreigners who are ECOWAS citizens, to also come into your market and trade. And whenever Ghana goes to Abuja to sign ECOWAS treaty and it's ratified domestically, what it means is that we then it becomes part and parcel of our law. However, our GIPC code is out of harmony with the ECOWAS treaty that we have. And ECOWAS law then seeks to override our internal provision. And I'm happy to say that the GIPC Act is now being reviewed. That is going to look at all these things.
Do you think it can actually address the situation?
It can actually address it. Just that GUTA has also become more like a trade union, trying to always hold government hostage so that government can kind of pander to their needs and their needs. But I think that we must see that the world has changed and is still changing. If we push Nigerians out of the retail trade and they even sell their businesses to Ghanaians, and the Ghanaians seek to do what they were doing, what change would it be if the ownership changes? I think that GUTA has to be more competitive in what they are doing. We are told, though it may be anecdotal tale, that Nigerians sell cheaper compared to the Ghanaians. So maybe that
they said they are aggressively competitive. That's the word to use,
yes,
because they know how to market, and our people are not doing that. So there was some proposal sort of to get Ghanaians to be aggressive, to be able to match them up in the market, but that is not the way to go. But let's move on to the proposal you are making, that there should be an emergency meeting between the ECOWAS heads of states. Specifically, what should they be doing? Because yes, we have the ECOWAS law, we have our country or local laws as well. But you know that when you have ECOWAS laws and you have the domestic laws, the ECOWAS surpasses the local laws. So how do they balance this to ensure that we don't have what we are seeing and the image of Ghana is not stained as we are being looked like in the current situation?
I think we need to be law-abiding. One, we have Ghanaians also doing business in other West African countries. So if, say, Ghanaians doing business in Togo or Nigeria, or let's say Senegal, the Togolese government decide to push them out and they come to Ghana, what are they going to do here?
So I'm asking about the meeting you're proposing. You said there should be an emergency meeting between the heads of state, ECOWAS heads of state.
Yes.
Specifically, what should they be doing,
So,
knowing very well that we have our local laws and we have the ECOWAS treaties as well?
I think in that meeting that we are calling for, they are not going there to make any new laws. The laws are clear and it don't even need further interpretations. But we need to ask leaders to come and explain to us why they have allowed their people to do that. And more importantly, we've seen what Nigeria is doing, for example, and that even calls for an immediate meeting of ECOWAS heads of state, even by Friday, to discuss that issue. I think that one is even more dangerous than what is happening in Ghana here. And we are not trying to say that, I mean, if Nigeria has closed its borders, then it gives Ghanaians the fillip to do whatever they want to do. No, I mean, that is very bad. So we need to have ECOWAS leaders need to be firm on its rules and regulations, and then any country that seeks to abuse or override the laws of ECOWAS, that country needs to face the full rigors. Though,
let me ask you this finally before we go. Do you think that we are having all these issues in the retail market because we don't have singularity of purpose in the ECOWAS treaties that we have signed on to?
I think we have the singularity of purpose in the treaty, just that elections is coming, is bringing lots of populist leaders who try to say that when you vote for me, like President Trump did. And so when people come to power, they want to actually execute whatever they promised to the people. But I think
so politics is playing here as well.
Politics is playing here, but in Ghana, I don't think it's politics. It's rather, I mean, the Guta trying to, attain their own individual needs by trying to flush the Nigerians out from the Ghanaian market.
Mr. Piakubi, thanks so much as always for joining us for more. We'll definitely be visiting this. If we don't have permanent solution, we'll always be discussing the issue to ensure that Ghana's image is not actually stained in the international markets. Commodity market to find out how trading activities fared today. This is the Commodity News. For business with me, Sandra Estinam Apenu. There's more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. Do have a great evening.